Oh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOLFT, WBRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. These two different series and two different introductions. I mix them up sometimes. But yes, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2002, and we're booking the Invasion series. Tonight, we're running everybody's favorite program. No, it's not 205 Live. I know. Guys, calm down. We all love 205 Live. No, it's Sunday Night Heat, everybody's favorite show, the original, the OG show that everyone loves. Don't be jumping on the bandwagon now, okay? Nonetheless, it is Wednesday, week 2. We are on the road to WrestleMania, and Sunday Night Heat's going to be kind of having a special event coming up here soon. Think of like the NXT TakeOver things and whatnot. There is going to be a lot of matches on the WrestleMania program, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit them all, so I'm actually thinking about making like a special Heat program, kind of like they really did, you know, but make it more of a 2-hour program where it hypes up, you know, WrestleMania, especially by showing, you know, matches that should be on WrestleMania, but it really can't fit on there, you know, so I might do something like that. I've been dabbling with the idea. I just got to make sure it is possible, but that is something I am considering. Phew! God bless me. Sorry about that. Either way, is there another one coming in? No. Either way, let's go ahead and run the show. You guys have been waiting long and patient. Let's do this. Come on, there we go. We have one pre-show match. I figured let's give Billy Gunn a break. I'm tired of seeing his face. 65 C rating. I thought that said an 80 for a second, but I was like, impossible. Solid C rating here. Pre-show bout that had decent wrestling, but little heat to it. Billy Kidman going over Shannon Moore, one of our developmental superstars. In fact, a former HWA world champion. In 8 minutes, 2 seconds with the shooting star press. Kidman with an in-ring performance of a 64. Shannon Moore with a 53. I think Shannon Moore is ready for a call-up. I think he's going to be one of those guys that gets a call-up here pretty soon. So that's something we can look forward to, I guess. All right. We open up the show with a 45 solid D rating as Hardcore Holly and Spike are already in the ring. Hardcore begins to speak. He has the mic in hand and he goes, "Alright, yeah, whatever. The explosions are over, people. The music has stopped playing and the show has begun, so sit down and shut up because I've got something on my mind. Last week I was teaching Spike here a lesson when that idiotic drunk Sandman stuck his cane where it wasn't welcomed. Now, Spike, this is going to be lesson 2. You don't take BS from anyone. And if anyone wants to put their nose in your business, then you put them in their place. Which is why this week I've requested a match with the beer-chugging vigilante. So Sandman, get your ass out here, boy, because you're gonna be my example this week. Spike, go out there, sit down, shut up, watch and take notes." Give a Hardcore a very hick accent there, so I don't think that's how he really sounds, but that's what we're going with, I guess. Gained some heat for the ECW versus Holly family feud as Hardcore Holly calling out Sandman. If you recall last week, I believe, don't quote me, I'm pretty sure, I believe we did Hardcore Holly versus Tommy Dreamer. It could have been Spike versus Tommy Dreamer, but either way, it was one of those two. And it ended with Tommy Dreamer pretty much getting jumped by either Hardcore or Spike, ending, you know, leading to a disqualification, and Sandman, you know, coming to Tommy's aid. So, this is kind of resulting in that. Sandman put his nose where it didn't belong. Hardcore's going to put him in his place while teaching Spike a new lesson here. So let's go ahead and jump into our opening match of the night, which gets a 55 C- rating. And about that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Hardcore Holly goes over the Sandman in 7 minutes 33 seconds after Sandman intentionally gets disqualified. Of course, like the Sandman has been, and he always has been, he's got his cane around. He's most likely drunk. Hopefully not in real life, just storyline, please. And he's swinging that cane around, smacks it right across Hardcore's head. He doesn't care about the match. He just wants to beat down on people. He don't understand the rules, leading to the disqualification, giving Hardcore Holly the victory. Sandman with an in-ring performance of a 43. Hardcore Holly with a 59, gaining heat for the feud once again. And also, Sandman improving in performance. Are you drunk? I'm starting to think rehab might have worked on the Sandman, guys. He hasn't been drunk in a long time since we last sent him to rehab, so who knows? Maybe he's a new man, which is kind of a sick, you know, joke when we have him sitting around, you know, playing like he's a drunk still. So maybe he just, understands that there's a difference between drinking at the job and drinking while you're off. Maybe he finally gets that. Nonetheless, after the match is over, we get the 52 D+ angle. Sandman continues to hit Hardcore Holly with the cane despite the disqualification. That's when Spike runs into the ring to save his so-called brother, and he jumps onto the back of Sandman. Sandman just fights him off and throws him right down, and then immediately goes after Spike, beating him down with the cane now. Hardcore Holly takes advantage of this distraction, attacks Sandman from behind, taking him down, and leading to a 2-on-1 beatdown courtesy of Hardcore and Spike onto the Sandman. Hardcore Holly, during the beatdown, starts to notice that the Singapore cane is just laying there. He goes to pick it up, he hands it to Spike and starts demanding that Spike just beat down on the Sandman with the cane, and that's when Tommy Dreamer's music hits, and out he races alongside Beulah McGillicuddy, who I'm kind of hoping the sex appeal helps out a little bit. It doesn't look like it. And they race down to the ring. Tommy Dreamer goes into the ring. Spike swings the cane at him, but Dreamer ducks the cane, clotheslines Hardcore Holly right out of the ring, turns around. I'd like to imagine he does kind of like the Road Dogg doggy punches, little jabs to Spike Dudley as he drops the cane, and then he hits him maybe with the Dreamer driver, or clotheslines him out of the ring as well. Or maybe Hardcore pulls him out of the ring before Dreamer can hit the Dreamer driver. I think I like that idea the most. And leading Tommy just kind of posing with the Sandman, or, checking on Sandman while they get the advantage over Team Holly family here, I guess. Whatever, I don't know why I said team there. Got a little excited. 54 C- rating. Back from our commercial break. The right two censors music hits, and out comes Ivory, but noticeably, no Steven Richards. No Richards here tonight. Ivory, begins to take the mic as she goes on to explain where the hell exactly Steven Richards is. And here we go. I've never done an Ivory voice. I don't even think I know what she sounds like, so it's probably just going to sound like an annoying lady. So, I bet a lot of you are wondering where sweet, sweet Steven is. But don't you all get excited, because he'll be back. He's out scouting and recruiting for a cause. Our cause. A cause this voice. A cause I took tonight. Okay, what am I saying? A cause I look to fight for tonight. This voice is too much for me. With this big-breasted bimbo. I'm done with it. If your mother is proud of the lady that you've become, or is it more of a daddy thing? The voice is kind of throwing me off here. Pretty much, Ivory comes out. She explains that Richards is out. He's scouting. He's recruiting for the right to censor, because as of right now, it's only Steven Richards and Ivory. But she's looking to fight for their cause still tonight. And right now, we have this big-breasted bimbo in the ring, as she likes to say. And she goes on to mock her by saying, is your mother proud of the lady that you become? Or is it more of a daddy thing, kind of hinting towards something else here? Tracy here, Tracy Brooklyn, as we've known her. You guys may know her as Tracy Brooks from TNA. I believe she was like the secretary of Beer Money for a while. Either way, she takes great offense to this and lunges at Ivory to start our matchup here. Brooklyn is getting better at her gimmick, which is like a secretary, because this is going to be official call-up. She has a new gimmick. I'm calling her Tracy Brooklyn because it kind of sounds like a stripper name, which kind of plays into her gimmick here, because she's going to be the new secretary of the Pimp Party. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It did lose heat for the R2C feud, which is unfortunate. So we jump into our matchup here. 36 D- rating, and an abysmal matchup here. Tracy Brooklyn picking up the victory, the shock victory. Ivory is pissed. She's going to want a big bonus after this. After 2 minutes, 56 seconds by, pinning her when the Pimp Party's music hits. And out comes the Godfather. Out comes Val Venus. They distract Ivory just by dancing, probably with a lot of scantily clad women, leading to Tracy Brooklyn to roll her up for the victory and picking up a shock victory in her debut match. Although this isn't really an official debut, because I kind of borrowed her from Developmental, so I might have to re-debut her gimmick and all that, unfortunately. But this is an official debut in my eyes. She is officially on our main roster now. Maybe the Pimp Party's not the best way to start, but it's a start. Match did cool the crowd a little bit. Ivory with an in-ring performance of 56. Tracy with an in-ring performance of an 18. You might be wondering why we're calling her up. It's not because she's a good wrestler. Let's just say that much. It did lose heat for the feud, unfortunately. But Ivory is improving in performance, so that's good. 92 solid A rating as we get our This Week in the WWF segment, hyping up The Undertaker and Vince McMahon when Taker went to call out Sting, but instead got the owner of the WWF, who pretty much requested that the old Undertaker comes back. But The Undertaker, insulted by it, rides off into the sunset. Triple H and The Rock having to team up because they argue over who is going to get Shane McMahon, leading to a tag match with him and Booker T. Didn't have enough room to feature Booker T on here. And then the Stone Cold and Goldberg stuff, leading to Rhino, of course, losing the Intercontinental Championship to Kane. Wasn't able to fit them on here as well. And then the stuff on WCW Nitro, where Sting kind of tricked Austin and Rhino and led to the brawl where Goldberg got some more revenge on Stone Cold Steve Austin and the former Intercontinental Champion, I should say. Of course, that didn't work in their favor as well, though, because Kane, the new Intercontinental Champion, came out. And not only did he help Sting and Goldberg get rid of Austin and Rhino, but he also chokeslammed Sting and Goldberg. So, there's that. Alright, afterwards we go to a 58 C- rating here. The Boogie Nights music hits, and out comes the WCW dancing duo with their bodyguard, Tank Abbott. They dance their way down to the ring until once in the ring, Disco Inferno takes the mic and he goes, "Alright, listen up, you nerds, because the Disco King has the mic, and I've got something to say. This feud between those hip-hop hustlers has gone on long enough, and I'm ready to end it. No more bodyguards, and no more hiding. Sexay? Hotay? Which one of you will it be, because I'm laying the challenge out. Give me a member of Too Cool, and let's end this like men." And that's when Too Cool's music hits and they dance their way ringside. Grandmaster Sexay and Hottie, when they stop at the ringside, Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hottie, they play a game of rock, paper, scissors, and they both come up with rock, and that's when Rikishi covers both Grandmaster Sexay's and Scotty 2 Hottie's hands with paper, kind of hinting that I won, even though he really wasn't playing, and kind of, walks in between them and gets in the ring. Disco tries to talk his way out of it, like, I didn't mean you, big guy, I was talking about those two, I clearly said it. But Rikishi's not having any of it as he goes right after Disco Inferno, starting our main event of the night. Before we get into this matchup, I want to talk real quick because I am recording this on the day that, unfortunately, it was announced that Grandmaster Sexay, along with Brickhouse Brown and Nikolai Volkov, have all passed away, which is very unfortunate because, for one, Grandmaster Sexay's was a suicide, which, that's deep, that's rough. Like, Jesus, I'm not trying to make a joke out of it or anything. That's some deep stuff right there, and it's a shame that it got to that point where he felt he needed to take his life, apparently. It's a shame, and it's kind of weird booking him from this point. I don't know all of Sexay's life or his, what happened. I believe he's had some problems. I believe that's what I've heard. He was in jail, and apparently he hung himself while in jail. It's an unfortunate thing that it has gone to this, but I just wanted to kind of, since I have Grandmaster Sexay here, I figured this would be kind of the best time to kind of, even though I doubt any of his family watch these videos, all respect out to, Jerry the King Lawler and the rest of the family out there for Grandmaster Sexay. If you didn't know, I believe Jerry Lawler is Grandmaster Sexay's father. If I am wrong on that, correct me, but I'm almost certain that's how it is. Also, like I mentioned, though, two other wrestlers passing away. Nikolai Volkov, definitely a person a lot of people of us know, former tag team champion with the Iron Sheik, one of those early guys that really stood tall, and early heels, that because it was kind of like the threat in the early days before kind of like Hogan took over. I don't believe he was around much when he was around when Hogan was around, but not in the main event scene is what I'm going on about. And of course, Brickhouse Brown might not be a name a lot of you guys know. In fact, I didn't know him until this past what was it? Golly, I'm horrible with dates, but I went to Las Vegas just a couple months back for the Cauliflower Alley Club. It's a wrestling club that it's kind of like a convention as well. You can pay to go to it if you don't have to be a wrestler to go to it. Two of my trainers go to it all the time, so they invited me to go to them this year. I paid for my ticket. We all went. It was a good time. And Brickhouse Brown won this an award, and he just talked about this. It was a very heartfelt speech on the podium, and it was kind of he was hoping that he was going to be back, and I believe Mickey. I don't want to say Mickey Rourke because I know that's not who his name is, and if I could find the pamphlet, I can easily mention or name him off the top of my head, but I don't have it around here. But he was one of the SmackDown referees. He won referee, he was inducted into the Referee Hall of Fame over there or something. And he talked about how he had similar symptoms as Brickhouse Brown and how he's here now and how we were going to see Brickhouse Brown. And it was a very heartfelt speech going on and a lot of vibes going on, and it felt really good. But it's unfortunate to see that Brickhouse has gone that way and passed away. So it's crazy we've lost 3 people just like that, but that's how it happens. Life is crazy. Sorry to take you guys on a little deep detour there, especially with such a light-hearted feud like the Boogie Nights versus Too Cool. But with that being said, my condolences to everybody. But moving on. Tank Abbott looked good. Rikishi looked good. So that's interesting how Tank looked good because he was rated on Menace. So that might be a strong feature for him. Gaining some heat for the feud between these or between these two teams, I guess. And our main event of the night, 62, solid C rating in a poor matchup. Rikishi goes over Disco Inferno in 10 minutes, 10 seconds after hitting him with the rump shaker and pinning him. A lot of interference in here. Alex Wright distracting Rikishi. Tank Abbott distracting Rikishi. Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty distracting Disco. But it all led to Rikishi getting the victory. What I'd like to imagine here is a little bit of a brawl, mostly on the outside of the ring, or I don't think they would have gotten tossed out. It would have been more Disco gets distracted, gets the rump shaker, 1, 2, 3, Rikishi gets the victory. Disco with an in-ring performance of a 53, Rikishi with a 63, gaining heat for the feud. No worker comments as we end off the night with a 59 solid C rating here. Nothing really to explain much. I got the freestyle segment going on. Rikishi has Disco in the middle of the, or not in the middle of the ring, but he has him set up. He's in the turnbuckle. Possibly tried to pull himself up after the rump shaker, but Rikishi runs at him and hits that one move. And, Disco falls in the ring, and he turns around, sees Disco set up. Meanwhile, you got Sexay and it's Hottie fighting Abbott and Alex Wright on the outside of the ring. And, unfortunately for Disco Inferno, no one's there to save him. He gets a face full of Butte as he gets the stink face from good old Rikishi to end off the show, and then Too Cool just dance their way to end off the show pretty much as finally Disco is pulled out of the ring and the Boogie Nights retreats. Alex Wright came across well, and that's the end of the show here. We get ourselves a what? 70C+. That might be one of our best Sunday Night Heat ratings ever. Good shit. 70C+ for Sunday Night Heat, and we end off... I don't know. I'm rambling now. I was going to say when we end off the show, but obviously we're on Delirious's profile here, and the game is loading. I'm going to have to give Ivory a huge bonus, though. A huge bonus, guys. But that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Oh, look, never mind. Not the end of this video. We got some stuff. Before that, what am I going on about the end of this video? We still got developmental territories to look at. I'm sorry. I bet a lot of you guys are about to be pissed. What do we got here, though? Jared Briscoe relocating. I don't care. Jim Cornette says, "Sandman has poison ring psychology. He's probably not worth keeping around." That's a horrible Jim Cornette, but then again, a lot of my shit's horrible. Before we get on to the developmental stuff, let's go ahead and look at the damage. Oh, wow. There is no damage. Ivory's normal. I mean, she's furious, but she's apparently extremely happy from her previous bonus still as well, so never mind, no damage. And apparently, look at this, HWA rising fast. There have been heavy rumors of a planned spending spree by HWA, who are looking to expand into new markets in order to capitalize on their recent momentum. Some of the finest free agents around are said to be on their shopping list, and fans are already excited over the prospect of new blood debuting soon. Good stuff. So HWA looks like it was the best show of the night. And it goes OVW then, and... oh no, it looks like NWA was the best. Then HWA, then OVW. Also looks like HWA has new champion, or not new champions, but a new tag team. Evan Courageous and Corporal Cajun. The Afternoon Express. Interesting. So let's go on and let's look at OVW first. OVW with a 44 solid D rating here as we open up the night with a 41 D rating. John Cena retaining his OVW Hardcore Championship against Mr. Black. We then go on to a 31 E+ rating as Maven goes over Damien by countout victory. 51 D+ rating. Rob Conway and Randy Orton going over BJ Payne. That's BJ Payne. And Flash Flanagan. And then finally, in the main event, 43 solid D, Bull Buchanan defeating Mark Henry to retain the OVW Heavyweight Championship. Then we move on to HWA, the company that's apparently rising fast with a 50 D+ rating. We open up the night with a 33 E+ rating as Russ Haas goes over Matt Striker, the unibrow variation. We then move on to a 29 solid E rating as BJ Whitmer goes over your favorite teacher, Matt Stryker. No unibrow. It's interesting how they're back-to-back. 50 D plus rating as Yang retains the HWA Cruiserweight Championship against Chad Coiler. 37 D minus rating as the new team of Evan Courageous and Corporal Cajun, already forgot the name, goes over the A squad of Shet and Jet, or excuse me, I don't know why I said Jet, although that would be a better name, Shet and Dean Jabolski. If I ever have to call them up, I don't even think they're developmentals, but if I ever do hire them, that's going to be that other guy's name, Shet and Jet. I like that. It's 80s WWF. And then finally, our main event of the night, 52 D plus as D'Lo Brown retains the HWA Heavyweight Championship over Nova. And then finally, NWA Wildside Wrestling, 50 D plus rating here. We open up the night with a 35 E plus as Jimmy Rave goes over Scotty Wren. We then move on to a 41 solid D rating as Colt Cabana goes over Ray Gordy. 31 E plus rating, Chris Harris going over JC Daz. We then jump to tag team, or not even tag team action, excuse me, I misspoke. We have an angle here, 53 C minus, as we have a skit involving Road Dogg and Ernest the Cat Miller. 42 solid D as Lazarus goes over Ken Anderson. We then have yet another angle, 60 solid C rating here, this time a brawl involving Carlito Cole and the NWA Wildside Heavyweight Champion Sean O'Hare. 57 C minus as Jason Cross and Onyx go over the team TNT of Todd Sexton and Tony Santorelli. And then finally, main event time, 56. Excuse me, I pulled it up. 56 C minus rating here. Caprice Coleman and Air Paris going over the team of David Flair and Adam Jacobs. Good stuff all around. So let's simulate over to Monday Night Raw, shall we? I don't think I have. It's always dangerous doing that, but I don't think there's any decisions. No. It's very dangerous pulling that up because I risk the chance of it, spoiling something and then having to edit it myself. But let's move our way up to Monday Night Raw here, seeing if any more developmental shows happens. But speaking of developmental, I believe I mentioned this in a previous video, but there will be call-ups. I've got some big plans for developmental, actually. Some big plans post-WrestleMania. We just got to get in these next couple of weeks here. So, what do we got here? Nitro apparently got a 44.65 rating. We do have a pay-per-view with NWA Wildside, and apparently Ernest Miller winning a championship, so I'm not actually going to look at that. I'm going to try to avoid the Wildside stuff as much as I can, because I don't want to spoil it. Let's go ahead and look at it, even though they kind of spoiled it already for us. Look at that, Austin Aries, a young Austin Aries, going to BCW. We should shortlist him. Keep an eye on Austin Aries. High potential there. What do we got here? Oh, this is just Nitro. So, NWA Wildside hosting a event called Victory. Let's see how it does. 50 D plus rating for Victory. We open up the night with a 59 solid C rating as Jason Cross goes over Rick Michaels. That's a good match. 40 D minus rating as Lazarus goes over Matt Cross. I think Matt Cross is on a developmental deal. We then go to an angle, 52 D plus rating, Ernest the Cat Miller and Road Dogg once again with a backstage segment. 39 D minus rating, Jeremy Lopez going over Scotty Wren. Then we go to a 46 D rating here, solid D, Colt Cabana going over Ray Gordy. I think that's a rematch actually. Backstage angles, 56 C minus rating. We haven't seen AJ Styles in a while. Backstage segment between AJ Styles and Carlito Cole. I bet that was exciting. And then we have it. Our title change of the night. 57 C minus rating. Ernest the Cat Miller going over Sean O'Hare for the NWA Wildside Heavyweight Champion. We've got a new world champion. And then finally, main event time. I'm surprised that wasn't the main event. Main event, 55 C minus rating. Caprice Coleman and Air Paris going over David Flair and Adam Jacobs. Once again, might be a rematch. Let's take a look at NWA Wildside real quick here. I want to look at the World Championship now that Sean O'Hare has lost it. So Adam Jacobs actually the current Georgia Junior Heavyweight Champion. We haven't seen him. He's a 2-time World Champion. Ernest Miller, this is the first time he's won the NWA World Championship. Or Wildside Heavyweight Championship, I should say. Previous champions, Prince Justice, better known as Abyss. Of course, we got these guys, but they don't count. Because this was during our save. So we got Abyss, AJ Styles, Das Wonder Kid, Alex Wright, who had to vacate the title when we called him up. Then it went to Sean O'Hare, and now Ernest the Cat Miller. And then finally the tag team champions are Jason Cross and Onyx. So there you have that. Good stuff all around. Ernest Miller is the champion. Might have to call Sean O'Hare up before he gets the World Championship back, because that is going to be the one exemption for when we do call-ups. Like someone like, say, Bull Buchanan, who I believe is under our developmental wheel. He is a former Right to Censor guy, and in fact, he was, my original idea. Like, oh, I'll call Bull Buchanan back up and have him be under the Right to Censors again. But he's the world champion, and even though I did do it with Alex Wright, it was mostly because I really wanted to do the Too Cool Boogie Nights feud. So that was kind of my breaking of the rule there, but now I'm trying to follow through with that rule. What is this? Is HWF? Got Greg Valentine? What is HWF again? Necro Butcher apparently on the rise. As always, if anybody's on the rise, I tend to try to shortlist them because that's somebody to keep an eye on. Plus, Necro Butcher could be a great guy for the hardcore division. I don't think we're HWA, so Veronica Kane, who are you? Must be another person who said they were on the rise. I could see her working for WWF. Totally. Might have to keep an eye on her. Hire her to a developmental deal. Oh, Edge wants a pay rise. You know what, Edge? I think you're worth it. You're getting the full pay rise. You're getting the full one. You're worth it. You're worth it, kid. Alright, let's keep this going. I doubt we'll see any more developmental shows. Usually, they run kind of on the same days, but you never know. We could. But speaking of developmental, like I said, we've got big plans. I may be hiring some more people after after WrestleMania, because I think we're going to be calling up quite a few people. At least a lot of the ones that I feel are ready to be called up. And even though some of them may not be rated as good wrestlers, I think due to some popularity we can get them up here faster. But I think a lot of you guys might not expect the plans that I have in store for our developmental programs going forward, or should I say developmental stars. So we got quite a few. Some of the women may be called up, but the women's division is quite new. In fact, I'm thinking about making everybody add a women's division to their program so we can hire more women. But the problem is there's really not a lot of women in this save to hire, at least not yet. I don't know if they're going to start debuting out of nowhere, but we'll see where it goes. That is the problem. There isn't a lot of women, and I need women. Also, the problem is I need good-looking women. I'm not trying to sound sexist, but my company is sexist. I get dinged if I don't have good-looking women. 3.14 rating for Sunday Night Heat. Good stuff. Oh, look at this. Kazaruni Kurami, I don't know, loses his MMA fight. That sucks for him. Look at this. He put his wrestling on the back burner in order to prepare for the fight, but to no avail. All eyes on Christopher Daniels. Reports indicate that APW management are very keen to make Christopher Daniels the focal point of the promotion. I agree. Rey Mysterio Jr. Oh no, his face! Best high flyer in wrestling. I don't know how he's injured, but okay. And yeah, that's just Heat. So that is now going to be the end of the video. We have made it over to Monday. Got a new champion in Ernest the Cat Miller. And we are still on the road to WrestleMania. It's a grueling road. We've got this week, and then next week, week 4 WrestleMania. So hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your friends, Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams. I don't give a damn. Anybody out there who you feel would enjoy the content, give it a share. Help your boy out. Get some new subscribers up in this bitch. As always, I've got my buddies down below. ZachManziNVO over on Twitch. Highly recommend him. And Raging Yoshi here on YouTube, highly recommend him. Give him a check out. Tell him your boy sent you. And as always, I will see you guys for Monday Night Raw. I'm going to get started on that right away and try not to take as long as it seems to be taking sometimes. But with the WWE versus TEW series and my new work schedule, like I said, I'm still working around a lot of this, but I am trying to get these up for you guys. Don't you worry about it. Have a good one.